Dear students, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to talk about the flow chart. In the earlier session, we looked into the logic part and the code, the C program. We understood how the C program works. Now we will understand the flow chart. The flow chart for lab program number 8, matrix multiplication. So initially we have the start block. Okay, then just I will show you the program. We'll go through the program once and then we'll come back. It will be easy to understand. So in the program, initially this is the beginning of the program, that is start, and we have first we read the order of the first matrix, then we read the order of the second matrix, then we check if the number of columns of first matrix is equal to number of rows of the second matrix. If this is true, then only we will do the actual calculation or the computation of the matrix multiplication. And if this condition is false, we will just display that matrix multiplication is not possible. And where after if condition, inside we read the first matrix, we read the second matrix, and once we have both the matrix ready, then we have this logic. We have three loops here, this loop representing the rows, this loop representing the columns, and this loop representing the calculation that involves the calculation of a matrix element determination. So the multiplied matrix element, it would be a sum of the products. So we are going to multiply the row of the first matrix with the column of the second matrix. That is achieved using the third loop, and after that matrix multiplication. So this three for loops which are one inside another, these nested for loops will take care of the matrix multiplication. And then once we have the multiplied matrix, we display, and that is the end of the program. And this is else is the if number of columns of the first matrix is not equal to number of rows, then we will say matrix cannot be displayed, matrices cannot be displayed, and we will stop. So we will start with the same program. So this is the start. After that, read the first matrix, start, read first matrix, order m into n. Just we are going to read the order, read second matrix order p into q, and the first condition we checked is if n is equal to p, that is number of columns of the first matrix is equal to number of rows of the second. If this condition is false, then we will say display matrices cannot be multiplied, and we will stop it. And if this condition is true, then we can perform the matrix operation. Then once that condition is true, then only we read the matrix A. Read matrix A, total of m into n elements in 2 for loops. So here I did not put the loop, right? If you see the program, which what I am showing in the flow chart is nothing but this part. So there are two nested for loops, and we have the scanf that can be just represented. You need not do all those looping, just you say read matrix A, total of m into n elements in 2 for loops, that is sufficient. And after that, read matrix B, that is p into q elements. Then after that, set I is equal to 0. After that, we start with the actual logic. So we start with this part. Initially I is set to 0, and the first thing we are going to check is I less than m. If answer is true, we will come to the next step. And what is the next step? Set j is equal to 0. Okay, so set I is equal to 0. If it is condition is then we will check the condition. If I is less than m, then if that is also true, here set j is equal to 0, that part is missed. So you must have set j is equal to 0, because j value should be initialized. If this is condition is true, it will come here, j is equal to 0 is the first statement. So here we should have, before this condition, you have set j is equal to 0, and after it will check j is less than q, then it will check j is less than q. If this is also true, then Cij is equal to 0. Okay, if that is also true, Cij is equal to 0, and we are starting with the third for loop, so we set k is equal to 0 and k is equal to 0, and if k is less than n, okay, even if that condition is also true, then what we will do is we will calculate Cij is equal to Cij plus Aik into Bkj, that is this part. If this condition is, as long as this condition is true, we will execute that. Okay, and after executing that, we will increment the k value, k is equal to k plus 1. Again I will check k less than n. What is that? I am going to check this condition, k less than n. As long as this condition is true, it will calculate this and increment k value. That is what happening in the loop. So if this condition is true, it will calculate this value, and after that it will increment k is equal to k plus 1, and it will, so this represents the innermost loop. The innermost for loop is represented by this. Now let us say this condition is false. If this condition is false, it will come here, j value is incremented to j plus plus. So if this condition is false, j value is incremented to j plus 1, and the condition is checked again. So this is incremented, then j is less than q, condition is checked again. So you can see here, it will increment j value, again it will check the condition. As long as this condition j less than q is true, this particular loop will keep on running so many iterations. So we have one loop here, and enclosing that loop we have this loop j. So this is the first for loop, and this is the second for loop. Now let's say j value, this condition is false. If this condition is false, what will happen? It will come here, I will increase, I will become I is equal to I plus 1. This value is increased, and it will check the value again. So if this condition, this particular condition is false, we can see here, if this condition is false, I is incremented to I plus 1. Again we check whether I is less than equal to m. If this I is less than m, this whole 3 loops, so this encloses these 2 loops, this will keep on repeating. So this represents the outermost for loop, this is the inner loop, and this is the last one is this one is the innermost loop. So this condition represents this. Okay, now let us say I less than m is false. If I less than m is false, this for loop is completed, it will come here, right? So then what it will do, you can see it is displaying the matrix. It is, if that condition is false, it is displaying the matrix. So if this condition is false, it will come like this, just see that. Okay, it is displaying the multiplied matrix, and after displaying it will stop. So that is how it will work. So this is nothing but this part. So it will display this part, and it will come to the end of the program. So this is the flow chart, this flow chart, and we already discussed about the failure condition here. If this n is not equal to p, then we will just display, we do not do any kind of a calculation, we display matrices cannot be multiplied and we will stop the program.